Okay, so for context, I'm realizing there's so much I could give you, but I'm gonna try to keep it at a bare minimum. I'm just gonna start by things that were actually happening that time, and then I'll give more context. Okay, first of all, the concept of telekinesis was like not in my head at all. It was, I mean, I've seen videos recently that kind of got it on my mind and was like, just kind of made me feel crazy. I'm like, what the like, why are there so many random people that can just do this? And like, why are they, none of them are like spiritually developed, they're just random dudes. And like, okay, whatever. But I was reading the book, or like Ending Unnecessary Suffering, that hit me like nothing I've ever read, and it reminded me of so many different things I can do, basically, and like how I would used to learn when I was younger. And yeah, and then started reading the Book of Not Knowing. I got like 100 pages in, and then I got the book of Zen Body Being, and that reminded me of a lot of things, just like that, yeah, you can just make electricity in your body and just remember your body, like I'm doing it right now. I just started doing it all of a sudden, and remember that that feels really good, and it kind of like is a binary between that and your mind. I don't know, but in any case, so it wasn't on my mind. One of the things that was like magic that I'd heard about was like involves moving the stars around. One of those ones that kind of was like really convincing, and I was like, what the hell? But that night I saw a shooting star, and I turned and I like saw Jupiter come up above the horizon, and I'm like, what the fuck? We're gonna get hit by an asteroid, because I've been thinking about 3I Atlas, which is coming through the atmosphere, coming through the solar system in a really weird way, and I'm just like, what if this is just a bunch of them? What if there's gonna be smaller ones that are just gonna hit the Earth? Anyway, I've had a little bit of like science fiction ideas regarding the 3I Atlas, because I've also kind of begun to believe in astrology, or just like not believe it, I don't know, just feel crazy because of it. Anyway, be intrigued by it. But in any case, so that night I went to my room, and I like, my backpack was on my bed, and the my jacket was like hanging from my door, and I kind of like thought my jacket was moving in the corner of my eye. I was like, what the fuck, am I going crazy? Okay, also context for this. I am a biochemistry student at UC Santa Cruz, and I'm a 5th year, but a few of my buddies graduated last year. I know I have 3 friends who graduated in physics last year. One of them graduated with a PhD. All of them had a psychotic break this summer, basically. And low-key, I've been feeling like I'm in a quantum mechanics class right now, and I can kind of feel it making me feel crazy. But in any case, that friend, one of them visited last week, the one that I've like been closest with, like closest friend of my entire life. Kind of at this point, he's more like my brother, because I don't really want to be not that good of friends with him, but we're just like connected in some weird way. Anyway, he's been doing a lot of he was doing a lot of ayahuasca and stuff too, and he was like actually just insane now, and it's really like peculiar. And in any case, so I kind of had like these feelings of like I was just gonna go insane, sort of, like that's what was happening right then. And like I was just kind of feeling off, and I've been feeling off for like a couple weeks after I learned about ending unnecessary suffering, and then I kind of got cocky about it, you know, and then invited bullshit into my life, as well as just like stopped doing it, basically. So in any case, I noticed my zipper on my backpack was oscillating a lot. It just like kept, surely it was just oscillated from me moving on the bed or something, but I was still, and it just kept going in a way that looked like it was forced, like somebody pushing some kid on a swing. And so I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I put my hand up next to it to like pretend like I'm gonna like stop it, you know? And then I was like, it didn't do anything. But like, I think at some point I kind of realized I just like tried really hard, and I'm not sure how I learned that it was actually disturbing it. But in any case, it appeared like something was already forcing it. Like maybe my body was already like interacting with it in such a way as to like just have it do that without my will involved. But at a certain point, I guess I stopped it and I made sure that like I'm not sure how I got in tune with it at first, but this is how I reliably got back into it. Was I would do the Zen body being thing where, I mean, the first 30 pages where you just remember your body and feel this like energy. I was thinking about the distinction between like lifting your hand and the intention to lift your hand, and like how you could feel that. And so I just like put my awareness into my hand that was like next to it. And then I kind of just, in the same way that you intend to lift your hand, I intended to move this thing. And I kind of had to imagine that this energy, this something in this intention in my hand became part of this zipper. And like, that was tricky to do. But I knew when it would work. I could feel when it worked, because it just felt like, I'm moving my hand. And at a certain point, I like would move my hand without thinking, like we were just connected to it, and I like was like, oh, it's moving. Of course, that's part of my hand too. While I'm moving my hand, you basically just become fucking insane. And but it was hilarious too. I was like, this is so stupid. Like, why? Like this is the same thing as slacklining. Like, I'm really good at slacklining. I can do this thing on a slackline where you like call it surfing. Depends on the type of line. Say the line's super, like has a lot of slack, but it has no elasticity. That you can just surf on it like you're on like a swing. It's like ridiculous. It's just like up and down. But if it's like a longer line that's more like taut, but it's more flexible, it's like if you were to go down like this, you're not gonna be able to surf it. You have to end up going like, you have to like kind of wobble and then go like that eventually, you know? And then like maybe if it was like a tighter line that's more like elastic and really tight, you just go like this. Anyway, it's really kind of weird. And every time I've done it, it feels like magic. I'm like laughing. And it's just like so sketchy. Like I've fallen too, and it's just like ridiculous. And every time I do it, I'm just like, how am I doing this? And that's kind of the entire way you learn how to slackline is you just do it. You just try to do it, and you don't understand how you develop, but you just do. And that's kind of what this felt like. I was just like, this is nothing like this is just like I'm moving this, but like slacklining, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing it with my whole fucking body, and it's like the stakes are so much higher. It's just hilarious. And in another sense too, it felt like whatever allows you to get a dog to come over to you, like you just kind of, I have that skill, like dogs and babies and cats, they like me because I can like, you just invite them, you just say like, yeah, hey, I'm like, you communicate with them in such tiny ways, and a lot of it's just like, yes, our minds meet in some way, like I understand that that's what's happening, and you kind of also just expect it, like you're just like, I communicated this to you and it's gonna come over here. And anyway, at some point I was able to, it's not quite clear because I don't know like how I can tap into it like it's my finger, right? But maybe it's equivalent to like when your foot's numb. I was like moving your foot. It's like kind of like halfway between being unable to and like not wanting to yet. You know, it's like with this situation, it's like not. It's like I don't know how to move it. I just like I know I can do it. I know I'm connected to it, but like to tell it to do something or not is like really tricky. Anyway, so I was able to like, at some point it became clear to me at least that I could like make it oscillate like this versus like this, like that versus like that. And then I kind of was doing it like this at some point, but I'm like not really narrating it that clearly because I'm just kind of like expecting it to work. I'm just like, it's gonna do this, it's gonna, okay. So it's pretty weird. And stopping it too is really hard because like I said at some point, you're not like, you don't really know if you're like, you can't, first of all, it oscillated a lot on its own, whether like once it started going, it just kind of did it. I don't know if it was like connected to me or not. Like there were points where I I would touch it, you could tell, and it would still move because I was like, I didn't know how to stop it. Because I didn't know how to, I was perturbing it at all. Like, I would just tell it to go side to like this way or this way. I just like intended to do that. I didn't like, I couldn't hit it in a certain way, you know? And so when I wanted to stop, it wouldn't stop on its own. It would just keep going. I had to like intend to pull it from the bottom. So if you see it like kind of look that way, when I got to stop, like it doesn't stop on its own without me pulling it down. And also on top of it stopping is like when it's moving, you don't really know if it's you. You don't know if you're connected to it. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of also the hard part about getting it to stop, is like just knowing that you're connected to it. Yeah, anyway, there's a lot more, I'm sure, to say. But, oh yeah, and there's also, like when I moved on the bed like that, it would totally move way more than I could move it with my mind. But if I like smacked the bed, it would just kind of move a little bit. Like sometimes if I smacked the bed enough, it would just like, it would move like I was as much as, you know, as I was able to move it. And also my breath too. There's one moment in one of those videos where I breathe and you can see it move. Like my breath could affect it. So I was not breathing heavily, and I was not breathing towards it. And yeah, I think it's just so funny how stupid it seemed. It was just like, and I think it's just like, it also, yeah, it hurt low key. I don't know, it didn't hurt. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, I'm gonna start wiggling it. It's not quite yet. Okay. Right about now. Yeah, come on. There we go. See if I can stop it. It's hard to stop. Yeah, anytime now, honestly. But let's do it. Let's do some more. Okay. There we go. Okay, I can actually feel. Stop it. I guess I could just like fuck with it, and you can tell that it's like doing random ass shit. getting it in. It's hard for me to get into it now. Okay. I'm gonna twist it. It's hard to do that, but you can tell it makes it jiggle weird.